Hey, man.
Oh, hey, man.
How's it going?
Oh, you know. It's late.
Yeah.
Tired.
Always.
But, hey, I get to drink beer.
Mm-hmm.
Which, speaking of beer.
Oh, this is delicious. I like this.
This one's probably gonna get me. This is easy to drink, too.
It really is.
For, what it is.
Yeah. So,
But,
we're going to talk about what episode... What episode is
It's episode 5 and 6.
5 and 6 of Rick and Morty?
Rick and Morty.
Season 5?
Hey, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, doing 2 episodes of Rick and Morty because it took us so long to do Loki that we just... It was a full week.
Yeah.
It was a full week. Almost 2 weeks to do Loki, full week to do Rick and Morty. And now we're here. And so we've got 2 episodes to review. Episode 5, which is the Hellraiser-esque episode.
The Jerry and Rick episode.
Jerry and Rick episode, which isn't really a Jerry and Rick episode.
Fridays for the boys.
Yeah. I thought it was an odd premise, considering they did that on the Pity Adventure episode. And then we also got the very random, and really ridiculous and hilarious episode, the Thanksgiving episode.
Oh yeah, the Thanksgiving episode. Oh dude, yeah, so much happened to that.
Yeah, but we'll talk about those like we do.
Indeed. But first, let's talk about beer.
Let's talk about this beer.
Beer.
Hey, fucker. Starfucker.
He's a starfucker.
It's the Imperial Starfucker.
So much fucker.
Yeah. We're getting away with this. Except that we're not actually. But it doesn't matter because we're not monetized anyways.
That's right. Doesn't matter.
But, yeah. Imperial Starfucker.
Yep.
Stone Brewing. Double hazy IPA.
Mm-hmm.
At a nice gallant 9%.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. And still, like, it's a bit above the normal Stone price range of, like, that $9.99. But it's not, like...
But not, like, too high.
Drastically. I think, what was it, like,
$12.99? I think it was $12.99?
Yeah. So you're paying an extra few bucks, but you're getting an extra few %.
Yeah. Exactly.
And, man, this beer is, I mean, at least for us, very drinkable.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot going on here.
Oh, yeah. Super complex.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
I honestly wish I had more time to kind of get into it, like, to let it warm up a little bit and just kind of really dive into the flavors. If I notice anything, you're already done with that beer.
Not yet, but I'm warming this one up.
That's
for the last
smart.
one.
That's smart.
That'll be my last one.
We'll kind of get maybe a little bit more into flavors if we remember towards the end of the episode.
Mm-hmm.
But, man, I mean, right off the bat, you get some stone fruit, some, like, peach, apricot kind of flavors.
Yeah. That peach is kind of like, it's a subtle peach, though. It's like,
very subtle.
It's more, you get more
like,
apricot than you do peach.
Yeah, and it's not very
through.
sweet.
Yeah.
Like, you're not getting, like, real juiciness. Like, for a hazy, this is pretty subdued in the juiciness category.
Yeah.
I'm
Super
getting, like,
smooth, I'm
getting, like, a very interesting, almost, like, smoky flavor from it.
Yeah, that's interesting. I noticed that, too, and I was like, I wonder what that is.
It's like, it's pretty subtle, but, and it might become more prominent as it warms up, but it's like a faint, like, kind of tobacco smoke.
Yeah, I can definitely get that.
Very interesting beer. And at 9%, wow, man.
I'm all for it.
100%. 100% for 9%. Yeah, this beer's pretty good. I'm not, head first in the 5 out of 5 category.
No.
I might save my final judgment for a little bit later. We'll see kind of how it opens up a little bit, because this is still very cold. This just came out of the fridge. Unlike usually, like, we take these beers out and they're kind of sitting on the table for 15, 20 minutes while we set everything up and talk about what we're going to talk about and do all our normal YouTube shenanigans.
Jargon.
Camera set up and mic set up and light set up. We really kind of just rushed that part. We didn't even turn off the other light.
Yeah, we kind of just rushed this one.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, so...
A 4 for me, eh?
Yes,
That's high.
Definitely solid 4 for me as well.
Well, I'm glad to hear that.
Indeed.
That's what I said, and I like being right.
Seems like it took forever.
Yeah. I might even have enough time to change my answer.
Okay, now I'm getting more peach. I'm getting a little more peach.
Getting a little more hot, but
that was there.
it was there, but it was, I don't know. It was kind of subdued by the coolness.
I'm definitely, definitely.
Oh, no, the first thing,
I'm definitely getting more peach,
back,
though.
I've definitely gotten a little bit more, just hoppiness in general.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm actually very happy with.
Yeah.
I'm like, ooh, it's 9% and it's hoppier.
Maybe a 4.5 by the end of this video.
I got a little more in the apricot, actually. You know what I want to do? I want to read the back of this can because Stone actually put some writing into it.
Might as well.
Might as well. Here now. We're only talking about 2 episodes today, and who cares that this video goes long?
It probably still won't anyway.
No one's gonna make it past the first 10 minutes, anyways.
True.
Welcome aboard the Starship Stone Brewing Napa Imperial Star Fucker class. Sorry, class is on the next line. I said fucker, and that's kind of where my brain sounded like, yeah, that should be the highlight of the sentence. Nope, class.
Class.
Imperial Star Fucker class. Captain Citra and First Officer Rocco are prepared to take you on a dazzling out-of-this-world expedition. We'll set hop coordinates to the Stone Fruit Zone, deftly navigating past peach and apricot asteroids. Huh? Peach and apricot. Yeah, we're getting that. Mm-hmm. Before executing a quick diplomatic visit to the tropical fruit sector, and finally drifting over to the citrus quadrant, Captain Citra's home territory. Please keep your safety harness fastened until we come to a complete stop. Keep all hands and arms within vehicle at all times. Until we come to a clean stop. Back on Earth. For our intrepid crew, every new beer is an exhilarating mission. If you ever find yourself in our little corner of the universe, do beam in. We'll take you on a journey each time. I can confirm that. I've been to the Stone Brewery once before, and it's a wonderful place. Just beautiful, like, natural wood architecture all throughout the main brewery area, and then, like, koi gardens and, like, Japanese Zen garden style stuff going on.
That's
outside.
Awesome.
It's beautiful. And they have the bistro right next door, so you can go get an amazing meal. I didn't go there, but I've heard only wonderful things about it. Let's talk about these episodes. The first one.
Yeah, the Jerry and Rick episode.
The Jerry and Rick episode. A very misleading premise.
Yes, it was. We were like expecting from the teaser. We were expecting like the roller coaster episode.
Yeah,
something like that. The whirly durly.
The whirly durly experience.
But we did get that.
No, not at all. But I actually enjoyed that portion of the episode the most, just because. Like, so we get all the Hellraiser characters.
Yeah.
And one that's just kind of funny on its own, like the way Jerry's like, well, how do you know when it's lined up? When it starts spilling blood all over the place, Jerry, come on, let's figure this out. And Then we get the Hellraiser characters, and they feed off of how cringy Jerry is.
They feed off of, his cringe.
One of my favorite lines is, cringe cannot exist in a vacuum. And basically, it's Jerry made a deal with these guys, and, they're not raising hell on Earth because of the deal, and in exchange, they get to experience all of Jerry's incredibly cringy bullshit.
Oh, and everything he does is so bad.
I mean, first just mentioning that, and one, he calls it Jerry-oki, which means that he is on stage 100% of the time.
Yep.
2, he lists that he's excited that
the entire Smash Mouth,
catalog is on there.
Oh, God.
Great. And then 3, when we do actually come back to them, he's doing the frickin' boom, 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 boom. Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's so bad.
It's so bad, it's super cringy. Like, as bad as we just did it now,
yeah.
Like, even worse. And we did not do that service at all.
Nope.
So, super cringe. The fact that... And then their whole thing later on, after Beth comes in and even fuels it even better, and then Jerry overhears them while they're taking a piss, that he's just the butt of a joke. One, how did he not know? But at the same time, that's why it makes it so funny. Exactly. That's why the cringe is so enjoyable for the Hellraiser characters.
Mm-hmm.
What are they called again?
Cenobites.
I was going to say Xenobites, but I'm like, that sounds way too alien.
Yeah, those are xenomorphs.
I'm like, the Xeno part doesn't sound right.
Cenobites.
Yeah. So we'll call them Cenobite characters from now on.
Because they essentially are.
Because it's from the same franchise.
Yeah. It's so funny. I was not expecting that, and when he started fiddling with the it's a Rubik's Cube, but it's all one color. Which was the funniest part. He's just messing with it, and it's like,
how do you know when you got it all up? When it starts smelling blood, come on,
smelling blood, Jerry. Oh man.
It's those little details that really make this show so great. Mm-hmm. Because also just the whole paradoxical, like, your pain is my pleasure, but the fact that, I get pleasure from pain, and then that induces pain because you're getting pleasure, which then causes pain. It's just
which then causes pleasure.
It's a whole loop thing, but they play it out in hilarious outcomes, like when
they go into the school and it says on the whiteboard in red chalk, pleasure equals pain, pain equals pleasure.
Yeah. It's just it's totally paradoxical. It doesn't make any fucking sense. Mm-hmm. But the best part for that whole thing was, I'm skipping over 99% of the episode because my favorite joke was the whole, like, when they're trying to get into the palace where Jerry's being kept, and they're talking to the guard who's like, marlin guts and, whatever best...
Dart face.
You're not on the list. Oh, that brings us such pain, which brings us pleasure, which must bring you pain, because we're receiving pleasure from your pain, which means you are in turn receiving pleasure by our pain.
Everything,
so come on in.
everything's super like deadpan and super so, monotone.
It's so dumb, and what makes it so fucking funny.
It is,
and the fact that the ultimate weapon against them is that they use And he uses a gun that turns all of pain back into actual pain. And then kicks the one guy on the balls. The leather hurts! It's so good. Good. It's so stupid, but it's so totally good. Is. I fucking love that shit so much that I'm like, that was what totally made the episode for me. Mm. Then we got the whole subplot with Summer and Morty taking the car out, and the car has its own. It's basically it's an AI.
Yeah.
And has its own like joyride sequence. I do love the whole section where it's trying to hook up with like Transformer robots.
Yeah. There's a Galactus reference in there.
There's a Galactus reference. Like when they're doing their whole joyride, the car frames Summer and Morty, or like not frames them, but the word I'm looking for does that thing.
Does that thing? Yes, that thing.
You know, because brain's working so well right now.
Yeah.
Extorts?
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not extortion. It's
blackmail.
Blackmailing. It literally says blackmailing in the episode. Blackmail is such an easy thing to remember. How could I literally not get that? Tip of my tongue kind of thing. Bullshit. Anyways, blackmails Summer in the Morning into doing what she wants.
Yeah.
Which includes fishing a Galactus-style character.
Yeah,
and then killing him.
She's like carrying a sun which pulls all the other planets in its orbit with it.
Yeah.
And the Galactus thing eats it.
Yeah.
And then before the Galactus thing eats them, she goes around, shoots it through his head, and then flies through.
Wonderful.
It was.
Look, it's such a great reference.
And then she's like, smaller than I thought.
Literally devourer of worlds, and, you know, a sentient spaceship kills him by, I mean, probably very inhumanely dragging worlds along to fish him, literally.
I love all the Marvel references in this season.
There's some good Marvel references throughout the season. I mean, it's very topical.
Oh yeah,
99% of our videos have been Marvel for the past 2 years.
True, so, and that and a lot of the writers from Rick and Morty
went to Marvel projects. This is not the first time we've referenced this. Also,
true facts.
Rick and Morty videos. Yeah. I think probably my favorite part about that whole subplot has to be when the spaceship breaks them out of jail.
Yeah.
Because...
did you notice the small chip at the back of her head?
It's literally jammed into her brain. There's no way that person survived that whole thing.
It's like a Nintendo Wii in the back of her head.
Yeah. Open skull, profusely bleeding, jammed into the back of her head. Obviously doesn't need much to control a body.
Yeah.
Of course, very poorly controlling that body and the movements.
Yeah. What was the name of the person again? Was it?
Chut.
No, the lawyer.
Oh, the lawyer. I don't remember the lawyer.
Was it Allison Hannigan?
It might have been.
I think it might have been Allison Hannigan.
It was, because there was an Allison Hannigan reference in the episode.
No relation to the
I do have to give big props to Dan Harmon with his original random ass songs. Which, if you follow Dan Harmon's Instagram, he used to do a lot of he would just be driving and then singing random songs, and actually made music to the random songs that he would come up with while he drove. Great little Instagram videos, if you ever want to go back and check those out. There's some fantastic ones that are just super random and hilarious. Vampire babies being shot up into space, and things about Pomeranians, and just lots of great stuff. Highly recommend checking that out. Otherwise, honestly, the B story was very, like, I don't know. I didn't really care about it as much.
Yeah, the B story wasn't.
There was
some
really funny jokes in there, and there
it's
was
like, when she's like, Rick's coming back, and I have to shower. He can smell when I've had a good time, and like he gets
as soon as he lands, he's like, yeah, "What's that?"
Yeah, like he smells. It's like a. All right.
And then what was it? Jerry's like, "Oh, I farted."
Oh, I farted. I'm sorry.
I farted. It's fine. Just like, oh, okay. And moves on.
And then what was the guy's name? Chet.
It was like Chuck Brimley or something.
I think something like that.
I can't quite remember. I didn't write notes for these because I didn't feel like it.
It wasn't worth writing notes for.
We're like terrible YouTubers.
We're just gonna wing it.
Just winging it. But yeah, the primary story with the freaking Cenobites.
The Cenobites.
And when they actually go through there. Like, when I saw all the previews and stuff, watching Jerry with the marlin through his stomach, I'm just like, I have to know what the fuck is going on with this. And their names are based off of what the most defining feature is from their torture. It's like so dumb, but it's
well. I mean,
really
that's how that's how Pinhead and everybody else got their names.
How the names from Hellraiser come from?
Yeah, because he wasn't officially named Pinhead until the third one, where Clive Barker actually gave him the name of Pinhead.
Yeah, and that's because fans named him Pinhead.
Yep.
Because that was the most defining feature of the character besides the torture aspects.
They're not even pins, they're like nails.
Yeah, they're more nails and like long ass big wood nails, you know. But off topic.
Yeah, sorry.
I really liked that episode. I thought it was hilarious. Definitely one of the stronger episodes for the season, for sure. But then the second episode we're talking about this episode,
the Thanksgiving episode, which is so out of left field.
Oh, totally. Normally when they do like a holiday themed episode, it's actually near or around the holiday, or on the holiday, or something relating to the holiday. No, it's just like it's July, so let's talk about Thanksgiving. Yeah. They get a lot of great jabs about like colonialism and racism and manifest destiny and all that shit.
And the fact, when Congress gets, when they're talking about the news, and it's like, and Congress, just to prove this, after getting its third raise in the last hour.
That was probably my favorite part. It was just, like, the turkey president, even though obviously being somebody that's going to destroy the country and or the rest of the world, Congress is all like, oh yeah, no, that's cool, because he's giving us money.
Yeah, exactly.
So he doesn't care about money, he's going to destroy all people and turn them either into turkey-human hybrids or replace them with turkeys.
But they're like, but money.
But money. Oh yeah, I like that.
Yeah, let's vote for that.
Yeah. There were a lot of great political references in this episode. Mm-hmm. There were a lot of really just kind of jabs at the typical soldier type redneck people.
Oh my god!
I'm not trying to make fun of soldiers or anything, but the whole special ops person that is a Midwesterner
Leaves his pregnant wife to go
leaves his pregnant wife to go do his duty, and gets brought into...
Even the reference at the end where the dude's like, in the background's like, I'm not paying for his health care.
Yeah, when he's got like complete PTSD and starts eating blueberries off the freaking ground.
You're
like a turkey too, just like face first, just into the ground.
Yeah, because he was like having freak out moments.
Yeah. When
he was turned into a turkey.
And then also that we get that whole story from the one guy, doing his whole spiel and I gotta fight for my country so I can fight for my place and my child.
Yeah.
And then walks out, and as he's leaving, there's a line of pregnant women in suburban homes. Just totally echoing that whole sentiment.
Yeah. And then, when the president gives the speech in the bar, and he's like, you're not going to take away my husband again. He's like, ma'am, I own your husband and 1/10 of that baby. He's like, but what are speeches? But questions. Questions answered by the people. Well, what is that? Also, another question. He just keeps rambling on. He's like, okay. And then the buyer keeps like, we don't serve your kind here. He's like, what? I'm the president. And he's like, and he points to the side and says, no presidents. I can't remember the president that was on there. I think it was Carter.
Man. I can't remember either.
I think it was Jimmy Carter.
I mean, that would kind of make sense, but...
nobody liked Jimmy Carter.
Yeah.
But,
man.
Yeah, then he's like, that's not your president. I am. And he looks at the TV, it's the turkey president. And he's like, oh, I guess I'm just a racist. Racist.
That whole facial identity thing. So, people can't recognize the faces of turkeys, which is why Rick constantly uses it as a way to get pardons. Which, I love that whole premise. I love the whole premise of the episode.
The whole back and forth between between the president's plan and Rick's plan.
Yeah. I love that the president is kind of almost on Rick's level too. It's I was almost expecting the whole change up, switcheroo, the president does this, blah blah blah, becomes a turkey, tricks Rick and Morty, but really Rick had planned that whole thing. That's what I thought was going to happen, was Rick had actually foreseen, because that's what leads into the actual, sequence of events, was them both going through each of their plans, countering the plan. So it's that is what they are expecting. But then we shall expect to counter their plan, which is in turn countering our plan. But we are expecting that plan, so we shall in turn counter their plan, which they would expect, which then counter that. They counter that plan, which we expect, so we will counter that plan to counter our plan to counter that plan.
Your brilliance knows no bounds, Doctor.
Doctor. Sorry, that was a poor rendition of that, but
we're planning around their plans. We're planning around our plans. We're planning around their plans.
Exactly. Plan around the plan that they planned, and then plan around the plan that they're going to plan around that plan.
And then the Statue of Liberty at the beginning of the episode is a steampunk robot.
Okay, so that is the one part of the episode that I'm not happy about, was they never paid that off in the episode.
New York can handle it. It's wait, what? Can New York handle it?
I do love the National Treasure opening, too.
Oh, that was so funny.
They're literally there to steal the Constitution, but only because it leads to a treasure vault.
Yeah.
And then they find out later on that the president actually knew all about that, and it wasn't really a treasure vault. It was ancient hieroglyphs of turkeys,
gigantic turkeys,
ran the North American continent,
the Northeast, yeah.
Which is also hilarious.
That's why the pilgrims and the And the Indians teamed up.
Indians teamed up, which weren't actually pilgrims and Indians, but actually aliens pilgrims and Indians. This episode is so all over the place.
It's very reminiscent of the fourth episode. It's like with the Chud.
Yeah.
And then the Spermzillas.
Yeah. But even that episode was more straightforward than this. This episode was all over the fucking place. And it was hilarious. And I loved all the references, the Alien versus Predator references.
Oh, yes.
There's
so many Alien versus Predator references.
There were a lot of Predator references, and then Alien versus Predator references, and then just going further and just complete absurdity.
He tosses him the gun. It's like, I saw that in a Predator.
So. Alright, same episode, turkey episode.
The Thanksgiving dinner that they had. It was like, where like they're all just angry at each other, and like the president's like, "Can you pass the potatoes?" Rick's all pissed off, but he still does it.
Yeah. I like that. And then, like, even though the president needs help, like that he's still kind of like formidable to Rick. Like he uses like the David Blaine box.
David Blaine. That was glorious.
Knowing that like they went into it so easily, he's all like, "Oh, that's not Rick and Morty."
Yeah, exactly.
They wouldn't have gone for that so easily, and that was just kind of a decoy. Blah, blah, blah.
The David Blaine box. Oh my god.
Apparently, David Blaine spent 44 days in an inescapable box.
He did. Supposedly.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Anyway,
yeah, when he's having his life is flashing before his eyes when he's laying in the water. And then Rick's like, "Sorry, I wanted you to have all your go through your life experience."
I didn't want to interrupt your life experience.
How did it go? He's like, "Actually, it kind of sucked."
Yeah. I love when the freaking like solar aliens and the Indian aliens come out and they freaking like summon cornfields. I love the way that one of them like uses a piece of corn, like kicks it out and just like stabs
the turkey in the neck.
That was one of my favorite parts. Just one of that just little detail.
It's like, wait, what? Okay, I get it.
I'm like, why is your corn so sharp? I guess you grew the cornfields out of nothing, so you can make the corn as sharp as you want, but Jesus.
Right.
Why? Why is that a possibility? But it made for a great sequence of events. The whole like thing with the other soldiers being all like, "I just joined the army to get through college."
As they run off.
They're running off, they're just like, I didn't sign up for this shit. Like, I'm fucking out of here. Right. Yeah, promise of college is great until your life is on the line.
Yeah, until you are being shot at.
Yeah. By a bunch of enemies that you don't fucking understand.
Yep. And don't understand why you're there.
Yep. Anyways, political views aside,
exactly. When the FDR.
Oh man,
FDR.
I was just gonna say, like, what was your favorite part of the episode? Because mine was definitely the FDR reference, and not the whole thing, but just the small joke of, like, yeah, we came up with the polio vaccine with spider DNA because spiders walk the most.
It's like, wait, what?
What the stupidest fucking reason? You come up with anything. Why would you do that?
It doesn't make any goddamn
And
sense.
it turned FDR into an immortal spider. And then they kill him. And it's even better.
It's
Oh
like,
my god.
I feel kind of bad for doing it.
The best part of the episode.
What did Rick say? He's like, he's not God, Morty.
But he also, and like the president himself also made a comment about like, it being harder to be a president today because all your
Because
informations
of
are
Facebook.
Because Facebook.
Try being a president now with Facebook.
Yeah, because everything you do is fucking out there. And like back in the days of FDR, like people didn't even know he had polio for the longest time because the way they shot his speeches and like everything that they did for it, you couldn't tell.
Yeah.
But that shit wouldn't fucking fly
That wouldn't
today.
fly today. Are you kidding me? There's cameras everywhere on everything.
So when you say that X and X was the worst president ever because blah blah blah, like just remember that if you think a president from the past was better than them, they probably fucking weren't. They were probably just as terrible, but you just didn't know.
Yeah.
Not saying FDR was terrible, but because of the polio thing. But they hid that really fucking well for a long
Long time, yeah.
Hey, what do you think about this beer now? That's
warmed up a little bit.
warmed up a little bit. Not gonna lie, I kind of went on this with an empty stomach. We had to stop because our battery died, and now we're continuing on. I'm a decent bit buzzed.
It's the hops feel more pronounced now.
Yeah.
I still get a little bit of apricot, a tiniest bit of peach.
I get some nice peachiness, actually. Before, when we started back on the second half of the video, like after we had to take a break for the battery, I was saying more apricot. Now I'm getting more peachiness towards the end of this.
Towards the end, I can get more of the peach.
Yeah, you know how things are. Taste is subjective.
So are we changing our?
No, I'd still keep it as a solid 4.
Yeah, same.
I like this beer. I'd happily drink it any day of the week. Well, not any day of the week. There's some days that
You shouldn't drink.
I got shit to do
Yeah,
the next morning.
exactly. Next week's the Voltron episode.
I have already seen that episode. That episode was leaked early.
Yeah.
I found that out a few hours ago. Well, I mean, I saw it last week looking for episode 4? 5? The Cenobite episode.
5.
And I'm like, oh shit, I thought this was the Jerry and Rick episode. Because I looked it up on YouTube. Because I didn't want to mess up the DVR so that we could watch it all together and blah blah blah. But I still wanted to watch it. And I started watching the Voltron episode. I'm like, I feel like this episode's coming in a little bit early for the season. Huh. This is definitely not a Rick and Jerry adventure. Huh. And then I watched the whole episode, and then right after it queued up from the same person the episode that aired that week. I'm like, what?
What did I just watch?
How did I just watch that episode? It got leaked way early, so you might have already seen that episode. Like I have.
He watched a variant episode.
Oh man, it was definitely a variant and a lesser variant at that. I tried watching it at the quality I did. Oh god, it was garbage. I'm very excited to actually watch that episode properly. Here's to you.
Here's to me.
Friends are life, which always be.
If by chance we disagree.
Well, fuck you.
Here's to me.
This beer can get you going.
Cheers.